Matt Monty. No person should drive a vehicle on county road at a speed in excess of 55 miles per hour unless otherwise posted by the Board of County Commissioners and provided in subparagraphs through A through C. This paragraph as follows.
All right, let's call this meeting over. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 3, any citizen desiring to be heard. Hearing none. Number 4, consideration of possible action on approving the minutes for April 3rd. Motion?
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hang on, I got some problems going on here.
Need to throw my grenade.
Did I say all in favor? Already?
Yeah, we eyed it.
Number 5, consideration of possible action on proclamating the week of April 9th through 15th as National Telecommunicator Week. Seems how the week's about over, I'll move it, we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Gotta read that thing, Mike.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, that's fine.
He needs to go down.
Oh. Yeah. See, you got me out of rhythm. Number 6. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna move that down till Roland gets here.
You want to move the other
let's,
two?
let's go to, no, let's go back to 7.
Here's Dennis.
Consideration possible action on awarding said bid 2017-12 for roof repair on hog and sheep building at the fairgrounds table from March 31st. What say you, Dennis?
Well, the board looked these over the other night, and the copies that we had, and they agreed that if you guys say the requirements as far as regulations, insurance, and all that stuff's made with the lowest bid, they're good with that. That's the company that did the last one, and they've been real good. We've had to call them back twice, and they were real good about getting right down there. So,
Iron Shield.
yeah.
So they was low bid as well?
Yeah, they were the low bid, but you know, there was a question, I guess, in regard to their insurance requirements or regulations, if they had the right stuff, but
That's one of the competitors.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either, but if you guys are satisfied that that's all met, then we're satisfied that that's good enough for us, so that was our recommendation.
What I would
think it
suggest
was the Iron Shield
is
guy.
based on what that other vendor said, and no, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. He was saying that there have to be a specific commercial roofing. So here's what I would suggest that if you want to take action, Iron Shield's bid is $23,408.25. The next lowest is Ferguson at $27,540. Award it to the lowest, dependent upon proper license. And then if they provide the proper license, we're all good to go. If they don't, then we'll move to the next lowest bid.
Or re-examine.
Yeah.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Thanks, guys.
One more.
Oh, one more?
Got one more, yeah.
Number 8, consideration of possible action on awarding sealed bid 2017-13 for roof repair on crop building at the fairgrounds table from March 31st, 2017.
I think it's the same thing.
Same
one, yeah.
Iron,
That's the same one?
well, no, it's not.
Okay,
Dennis,
that's
Ferguson is the low bid on this one at $46,800. The next low bid is Iron Shield at $49,624.
Oh, that then we would do the same thing. We would probably go with a low bid if that's, I think when we looked at the total package of all three buildings, and all things considered, Iron Shield was lowest on all of them, and so that's why we just said Iron Shield. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe we missed one or
Well,
something.
they were bid separately, so we gotta look at it.
I understand. I didn't realize that.
Okay, 46.8.
So you might
Here's my-
readdress that just to make sure.
My other question. Let me look at something.
So is it the intent of the fair board to take the lowest and best?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe if you package them together, Iron Shield.
And that's what I thought we did that, not realizing that we had to approve them both separately. That's on me, so I apologize for that.
Well, that don't mean you have to take the lowest. I mean, it's the lowest best.
Well, I mean, if it's, if you look at it from a total cost for the whole three buildings, and Iron Shield's the lowest of the three of the total combined deal, then I would say probably we could do that. There's another one of my good fair board members right there. He can testify to that fact too. Roland, what happened is when Roland, when they opened the bids, the bids were bid separately. So actually Ferguson was cheaper on the Crops building than Iron Shield. But what I was telling them was we rolled them together was why we did it that way. But I mean, again, I'm with you. The best bang for the buck's what we're after.
Yeah, so there's a couple ways to look at this, and this is all stuff that I'm sure y'all considered. But if you have one vendor do all three of them, then you've got one setup time. I mean, they only have to set up their equipment and that sort of stuff one time for the two barns, rather than if you have a vendor for each one come out. Now, if there's cost savings associated with that, then that's certainly a way to.
But I would interject this, from what I know, the cost savings wasn't hardly anything, and that guy has been down there several times to fix little issues. And I mean, he fixed stuff and went above and beyond what he would said he would do.
When we define lowest and best, that falls into the best part of it, right? So these guys are better, we believe they're better than, I'm speaking for you now, right? We believe they're better than others because of this, and this. And those are all legal reasons to pick the best, not necessarily the absolute lowest, but.
So if you recommend Iron Shield on the Crop building.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you come up with, Troy?
If you take the two together, Iron Shield, the two bids combined come in at $81,770, which I don't even think you have available.
On Iron Shield?
I mean Ferguson.
Yeah.
Iron Shield comes in at $73,032,
Which is what we had
which is
budgeted.
in your funding.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask a question? Now, Ferguson put in two different kinds of bids. Have you got? Because I thought the other night when we added the two up, they come up to like 70.
Okay, good point. On this one, on the Crop building, Ferguson put in one at $34,900, which is the one I took in here, and then that one is for a silicone with a 15-year warranty. And then they put in an elastomeric 10-year warranty at $27,500.
And that was we separated two of them to silicone and two of them to the other. That compared to the was it Iron Man or
Iron Shield.
Iron Shield,
Yeah. And I think Iron Shield still came in under our budgeted cost that we had asked for.
I think
so.
well, there was less than $1,000.
Yeah, it wasn't much
between
difference, right.
The way we seen it the other night, there's less than $1,000 difference between them.
And there's some benefit to dealing with one vendor on.
Right.
on a
Well, my
repair
biggest
like
benefit
that.
is that we've already dealt with them on two other buildings.
And you
we
know if you
they're-
call them, they're gonna come back and play.
Yeah.
Right.
That was, I'd even give $1,000 extra just for that fact.
Okay. Taking the Ferguson bid to using both bids for the elastomeric system brings them combined to $74,340.
Right.
So
Right.
not even a full $1,000 difference.
Yeah.
So you recommend Iron Shield?
Yeah.
I move we approve.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, guys. Now
Very
let's go
good.
back to number 6.
You guys have a good day.
2017 FD14 for fire protection package and consideration of possible action on the bid. bids you get, Ron?
One,
Pretty simple.
How many did you send out?
Didn't that happen last time when you had a? Yeah.
we sent out 4.
And the answer is, let's see, what are we bidding on here?
Bunker gear.
Bunker gear. My goodness sakes, trying to figure out. So all the compliance. I'll find it there somewhere.
That page right there should have.
$2,375 each.
Wanna look at it, Ron?
I can, but I can tell you, I had him, one of the guys individually quote us the pieces, and if you bought each piece, or didn't buy it as a set, you were looking to pretty close to about $2,900 when you put them in pieces, so.
What kind of set, what it said is it? I didn't look at all
The
that.
set, what it is, it's a full set of, it's a regular bunker coat, bunker pants.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then it's a set of wildland coat and wildland pants, and then a particulate filtered Nomex hood. And the guy told me they were putting all this into one package. They're trying to sell this wildland gear, and they've got the market on this material that it's made out of. And then the wildland gear, it's a, what do they call it? It's multi-certified. It's good for extrication and
Sure.
rescue and stuff also.
It's good,
so.
good safety gear. And how many sets were you looking to get? Or is it just an open end, indefinite?
Well, now
IDIQ, the county doesn't do IDIQ.
Well, actually, it depends on how we submit it. We sent this out as 1 or more,
Okay.
so that each department, and even though Mulhall's the one that went out at doing it in that method,
Other departments can take
we
advantage
should be
of
able to use it for anyone else. I don't know how many sets was.
We're probably going to buy 17 or 18 sets. So,
Okay.
because we went through all of ours in I believe 05 is the most current that we got, and they say in 10 years they're supposed to. So we don't want to get to a point of somebody get hurt or something that
Yeah.
we would be out of compliance on that. So, but
We used to change.
I've
that.
looked extensively at it, and I'm good with that one. If you guys are.
Make the motion. A second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Roman.
You good with us then?
Yep.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
You need us to sign in or anything?
No, just get your requisition together and.
Okay.
That'll
Thank
be
you guys.
good. Number 9, consideration of possible action on approving a resolution establishing a 4-way stop sign at the intersection of Western and Gold Train. Charter Oak, I'm sorry.
Charlie. So here's a picture, Drew, because I'm a visual learner, but that's kind of where we got the arrows is the additional 2 stop signs we're going to put in there. That's been a request we've been getting from quite a few of the residents in the area, and since we repaved Charter Oak there, the traffic seems to have picked up quite a bit through there. There's a blind corner on Western as you come in north on Western down that hill. Until you get over that hill, you can't see the intersection very well, and people just kind of blast through that. And folks that are trying to turn on to Western from Charter Oak end up playing dodgeball or dodge car, getting on and through there. So also ran by the sheriff and sheriff's deputies. I thought it was a decent idea as well. So I mean, if y'all have anything,
No, that's a perfect idea. Is that a motion?
I move that we approve the 4-way stop at that location.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, the motion carries.
did you want this for?
I have it attached to the resolution.
Get your notes.
Number 10, consideration of possible action on approving a resolution establishing 35-mile-an-hour speed limit on Industrial Road between Portland Avenue and MacArthur Boulevard.
So this is another one that is in my district. We put it, since the Battle Park paintball business opened up there on Industrial, 2 miles off of Portland, or Highway 74. The traffic has picked up quite a bit, and the complaints from people that live there has picked up accordingly. There's been, now I've gotten third-party accounts from discussions with deputies, so don't take this as they said this. But one of the things that got back to us, we're requesting this being reduced from 45 to a 35-mile-an-hour sign, and we'll post at 35 miles an hour if approved. However, there are no signs out there right now, but what that actually means is that it's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, because if it's not posted, it's 45 miles an hour in the county. And
We had a DA's opinion that it's 55, just because we don't have it adequately posted at the entrances of our counties.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
That was just yesterday, so I haven't.
State highways.
DA
Unposted.
needs to check into that because they're wrong.
There is a resolution, I will go back, I was recently asked to find it, and I don't remember the date that set the county even unposted.
So anyway, I'm requesting that the board reduce the speed limit, the county's go-to speed limit of 45 miles an hour to 35 miles an hour, and we'll post the signs out there, and then that way we'll be able to.
Doesn't look like you have much residence along there. Have you tried putting up the 45 signs? Just so they'll know. A lot of people don't know, you're right.
A lot of them don't care. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Unless we can get,
Well,
I mean,
you can't
honestly,
read numbers, I agree.
Unless we can get, red and blue lights behind some of these people,
Mhm.
slowing them down, they're not gonna slow down. So
Right.
I so move we adopt a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit on Industrial between MacArthur and Portland.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries. But back to the board, we did pass a resolution several years ago, and it is posted at the county lines.
Right. On state
Yeah,
highways.
that opinion was new to me, and it was yesterday, so I haven't researched.
So was
all of
that
these.
the DA or was that an assistant DA?
ADA.
Which ADA?
Emily, I believe.
Emily?
Yeah, Kirkpatrick.
Well, we actually had to pay ODOT to post them signs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what year we did that, but they're there. So anyway, here we go. Number 11, consideration of possible action on approving the resolution accepting $330 donation from Edward Hinkie.
Did you bring me a
to District
resolution?
3.
Make the motion.
This one's mine.
Yeah.
Did you?
And I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
So we'll do no action.
Okay.
Number 12, consideration of possible action on approving a resolution accepting $219.60 donation from J.D. Lord to District 2 for a culvert.
We did.
Halfway just didn't bring it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Well, that has to go that way and be signed there, but,
Well, this is the one he's tabling because he doesn't have it.
no, that's
Oh,
the speed
this is
limit.
the speed limit. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, if we were to introduce a resolution to have like a $2,000 fine for littering in the county, or 30 days in jail, or 6 months picking up trash along that, would the county sheriff's department support us on that one?
Absolutely.
Okay, just checking. I thought you
My
would.
problem with that is that even though you have the names, the addresses, whatever in there, the judge isn't going to allow this in
It's
court
posted. I got a picture of
unless
it.
somebody actually saw
Show 'em now?
them.
I will.
You have to have a witness in order to be able to have a case on Duffy.
Here's a picture of our county
I've
speed
seen it,
limit.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I just. wanna
They
make
were
sure.
just saying it had to be at the county roads too.
Really?
Is the opinion.
Every county road?
County road was the
You-
opinion.
How many of those are there?
I didn't count.
There's a bunch.
I think maybe we better get a different opinion.
That's well over a couple of hundred signs.
Yeah.
Well over, especially if you're going forward and backwards.
Every concept's interesting. Alrighty, 13, consideration of possible action approving resolution accepting $438 donation from Troy P. Henberger
Yeah.
to District 2 for culvert at 2351 North Henny Road.
Next motion.
Second. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. 14, consideration of possible action on CBRI project commitment list. I say no action.
We're still figuring it out.
So, I think our last meeting, we discussed, splitting $300,000 between the 3 districts, 100,000 each, right?
Instead of going by the.
And, for District 1, we're gonna designate, that middle mile between Broadway and Sooner Road on Forest Hills as our mile to pave with that. And go ahead and plug that middle mile this year.
Between Forest Hills, between Sooner and.
It's actually, if Bryant came all the way through to Forest Hills, it would be between Bryant and Coltrane. That's a 1 mile stretch. That's down in the bottom, down in the creek area that feeds the Liberty, is it Liberty Lake? Yeah. The city of Guthrie had that road for several years, and a few years back they donated it back to the county. One of those midnight meetings they had decided they didn't want to maintain it. So we've been fixing it up for about 1.5 years now, getting it ready to pave, building up the road base. We built that up probably a good 1.5 feet through there, through that wet area through there with shale. And so that's our area we're going to use for CBR. That 100,000 CBRI will be on that road.
Just as an FYI, I updated the sheets. So as of right now, there's 468,000 in the CBRI account. And based on the discussion at the last meeting, all 3 districts were wiped clean for project commitments, except there's a $50,000 commitment to Prairie Grove that is divided between District 2 and District 3.
So that was gonna be my next question. So we got 300,000 to split now. Seems like Prairie Grove already on the commitment list. Is that gonna knock me down to 75,000?
I think that's what y'all talked about at the last meeting.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said last time. I'm not sure that that's what you meant, but I think
I
that's
don't
what you
think
said
that's what you
last
meant.
time.
Well,
Because you said District 2 and 3 would come down
Well,
to 75
right.
each.
well, I didn't think that if that 50,000 is coming out off the commitment, I mean, it's already on the commitment list, so I
Right.
don't know if we had an additional 100,000 apiece.
Well, let's back up. If I take
We
the
can do
50
whatever
off,
we want to.
Okay.
Okay, so we haven't made a decision
I
yet,
take the
so-
50 off, that leaves 418
Right.
in there. Because the 468, the 50 isn't encumbered yet, so it was on my.
So
my
if we
total. So
still
there's really
split,
418 in
if we
there.
still split $300,000 in addition,
Right.
the 300,000, that still leaves over $100,000 after the $50,000 commitment for, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Well, my commitment list would be Cooksey Road in between Meridian and MacArthur. We done 1.5 miles of it 2 years ago, and I'm just trying to get it all the way out to the county line.
You gonna put a sign up there, speed limit sign? 45 miles an hour.
Says the undersheriff's gonna sit out there all the time.
There's already a speed limit sign out there.
On Cooksey?
Yeah.
What District 2 did, if I may, is whenever we had all of our stuff being designed and engineered underneath the SERV plan, and whenever Shannon Shepherd came through a year and a half ago, whenever, and kicked everything off, that is why we had to go back to the drawing board and put stuff back on the CBRI.
Right.
We have projects, but we have to make sure we have our priorities of which ones we want to do first
So we have some bridges.
before we
have
submit
some
it back
roads,
to the board.
And we've got limited funds. So
It sounds like you got
We're
100
still-
to.
we'll still figuring it out.
Sounds like we all got limited funds.
Alrighty, so we done on that subject?
No, I haven't heard from District 2.
You said he hadn't decided.
We're still looking. They don't know.
You don't know. Okay, so the motion, I think, would probably need to be incorporating that each one is getting $100,000, and then this is their projects.
I move that District 1 be allowed to use $100,000 CBRI for Forest Hills Road, the 1 mile section as previously described.
This was at District 3 for 100,000 on Cooksey in the same motion, if you don't mind.
I don't
So
mind
there's a bunch of motion. And District 2 undecided.
But he'll have 100,000. But that's why I'm saying we'll incorporate that each
Sure,
district got
right.
100, and he'll add his at a later date.
So if you can figure out a way to summarize that, I so move.
Okay.
That be done.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. 15, consideration of possible action on update of E911 service between Logan County, Kingfisher County, and Aiken.
I just wanted to bring the board up to speed on, there's no action here, just informational. This is one of the most interesting projects I've been involved with. So our little township of Cashin over here sits between Kingfisher and Logan County. And so we've got the township in Kingfisher County is over on this side, and then in Logan County they've got a few little spots down through here. And the most of the residents that live in Kingfisher County are up here in this little residential area up here. So for the last, I don't know, 6 years or so, Kay Davis over in Kingfisher County has been trying to get all of the dispatching for the city of Cashin, both in Kingfisher and Logan County, done through the Kingfisher PSAP over there. Right now, all this is being done through the Logan County PSAP. Now, when I say all of this, once Kay came to me, oh gosh, it's been a couple of years ago now, and wanted to talk about this, I asked her what the problem was. What's the problem? What are we trying to solve? What's the issue? Well, not enough. They're taking too much time in Guthrie. Well, so what we did was we ran 2 months of calls out of Guthrie, and there wasn't any time issues with it. I mean, these guys do a phenomenal job as far as answering and transferring calls. They do a really good job of that. And in 2 months, in a 2 month period, up here in this corner, this little housing addition, there was 1 call in 2 months. Down here, there were 5 calls. In 2 months, there were 6 calls to the township of Crescent. Now, I understand we've been arguing about this. I said we collectively, the politics has been argued for several years now over 36 calls a year. And I mean, so I'm kind of wondering. First of all, I support any township's autonomy as far as providing services to the people that live in their town. It would be like the Logan County trying to tell the city of Guthrie that they shouldn't be providing some sort of a city service, right? So this is E911 service, this is dispatch. So like I said, over a 2 month period, there was 1 up here and 5 down here. This is what the folks in Kingfisher and some of the elected officials in Cashion want us to do. And that's to basically transfer the responsibility for notification for the township of Cashion, both in and out of, in both counties, to the Kingfisher PSAP. So we're not losing a lot of calls. I mean, honestly, we're not losing a lot of calls. And the other part of this is the funding, right? So this is what's taken the most time to figure out. Back in 2005, and thanks Troy for doing the research on this for me. Back in 2005, Resolution 0582 was passed, which allowed Logan County put on a vote of the people that the remaining unincorporated areas of the county in these telephone exchanges to include Cashion. The unincorporated areas of Cashion, of the telephone exchange in Cashion, not the city limits, the telephone exchange. So this is where it kind of gets weird. So the unincorporated areas is supposed to be collected 5% of every landline that's connected. So that's the 5% of their bill, and that pays for the 911 service in that area. This is not an unincorporated area of the county. That's an incorporated area of the county. Legally, so what Kingfisher wants us to do, and the folks over in Cashion on this side, is they want us to invoke this 5% tax on the township of Cashion in Logan County, and then forward that over to these folks. And I've looked at this, and I've talked with the folks at ACOG, and we all pretty much agree that that's outside the scope of the responsibility of the county. The county, I mean, because we wouldn't collect taxes for any other township and forward to them, right? The E911 and the 911 associations with ACOG in Logan County, all of the municipalities are responsible for collecting their own taxes within their geographical boundaries of their municipalities. And then the county is responsible for collecting the taxes in all the unincorporated areas that aren't being serviced by a municipality. All that gets packed up and sent to ACOG. They send us the money to do our PSAP, to operate our PSAP. It's kind of how that works. Still, Kingfisher wants us to do this money transfer. What my position has been, and I wanted to verify this with the board, that it's the position of Logan County that we believe in the autonomy of cities and townships to provide services on their own. And if the township of Cashion wants to collect E911 taxes through the phone company, they're able to do that. All they got to do is have a vote, and update their resolution.
They got to annex them though, right?
No, that's already part. That's part of the township. You see, so it's a part of the incorporated township of Cashion. Even though it's split between two counties, it really doesn't matter, because when you think about it, Oklahoma County is split between how many? 6 counties? I mean, Oklahoma City is split, yeah. And I mean, they don't rely on each one of those counties to incrementally, give them it doesn't work that way. Townships are autonomous, taxing agencies, right? They have the ability to do that on their own, and the authority. So I am okay with not having to provide with not providing the E911 service from the Guthrie PSAP, the Guthrie Logan County PSAP, to the township of Cashion. If the township of Cashion wants to have that service provided out of Kingfisher, that's their decision. But they also need to pay for that service as a township. The county doesn't have anything to do with collecting their taxes. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And I spoke with John Johnson at ACOG about that yesterday, and he's on board with that as well.
So these people's already in Cashion Township?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and they would still respond to the county portion of that in Logan County?
So, this is what's called, in PSAP language, this is what's called an ESN, Emergency Service Node or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So the node in ESN 8, which is this one, is police is Cashion Police,
Mhm.
because it's inside the city limits, Cashion PD,
Right.
Cashion EMS, or the EMS folks they've got, and Cashion Fire.
Mhm.
So those are the three that get dispatched, right? So the difference between a call that would originate here for police and a call that would originate here for police, this one goes to Cashion PD, this one goes to Guthrie, or not Guthrie, but Logan County Sheriff.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, that's.
The PSAP.
So that's what the ESN difference is. This is ESN 8, is just for this, this area. So we would basically be giving the Kingfisher PSAP the responsibility to dispatch into ESN 8. And I think it's up to the township of Cashion to determine what they want, what services they want to provide, and how they want to pay for it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my update on that.
All right. So no action to be done?
There wasn't, no, this was just a discussion, I think. Well, it said possible action.
Yeah.
We don't have an action.
All righty, so no action.
Thanks, sir.
16, discussion of new county website, review and new design of future work group to implement changes.
Again, working with Troy and some of the other folks, we're looking at how we can update and keep our website a little more current. One of the ways to do that is to do some of that work in-house, and we sent Cassidy to a WordPress course, and I'm kind of impressed with what she's able to do so far. She's got, what we did is I personally went out and paid for a domain, logancountyok.net, which mirrors our domain that we have today, which is logancountyok.com, right? So the way web design is done in the commercial world is that you have two websites, one for development, testing, and one is a production site. You never test code on your production site. There's a reason for that, unless you want your production site to be down all the time from bugs and such. So my proposal is that Cassidy and the elected officials and whoever get together, and she can help folks figure out how to post things to their pages and maintain their pages. You can update, you can upload Word documents or whatever. It's really a pretty simple process. It's not real difficult. That's something that we could do today, and then that way we could, like, once a month go through and look at our test site and agree as a web committee or whatever that's ready to be promoted into production. And then that's a pretty simple deal, is you FTP the files from your test site to your production site, and now what was in test is now in production. And you know it works because it worked in the test site. That's the theory. That way it's not like you've got 5 or 6 people that have the ability to crash your production website.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've only got one person promoting code back and forth, and I nominate Troy to be responsible. Anyway, Troy, I appreciate you working with us.
So
on
nice
that.
of you, Troy.
Well,
That is a great job for you.
we'll get the last name.
But anyway, if you will look at it's Logan County OK.net or .com. Well, .com is
.com's
the
the regular.
Yeah, right. But it's whatever our regular is.
I think it's .net.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's .com. It's LoganCountyOK.com. That's our production site. And if you look at the .net, that's what Cassidy has done so far. She actually did this when she was in that one day school we sent her over to, and she stood up and mirrored that first site. I didn't have her steal the pictures yet because I thought we might want to update our photos and such.
So it's LoganCountyOK.com.
Yeah, that's our official.
That's what we
website.
have now.
That's- That's the one we have now.
Okay,
.net
the other
is
one's .net.
Right.
Is being proposed.
And so the other thing is it's somewhat time sensitive, but I'm not sure. We want to try and take on, moving over to this in total between now and the end of June in our fiscal year, right? Because we got contracts. That's what I was thinking about. Contracts with the website owner now. My thoughts is that the county can take over that, and we can save money from the hosting side and maybe provide a little better information for our public. I think everybody's on board with doing that. It's just how we go about it and how much trouble it takes to make it happen. Anyway,
Sounds good to me.
so if everybody's all right with that, I will have Cassidy figure out when she can come over, and we'll set up projectors and give a class on how to log into WordPress onto your site, and off we go. And I mean, it's imagination is the only limitation we have at that point, right? Imagination of our staff. That's all I have on the website.
Any discussion?
So that would incorporate the website that we have now, basically?
Yeah, what would happen is we would start from the back. We would start from our test site.
Because we have a website too.
Yeah.
District 2.
And that would, so every elected official has a spot on the official
Sure,
website.
sure. Okay.
And so what we would be able to do is you'd have a landing page, or what we call a splash page, on the official site.
Sure.
And that would also, we could provide a link on there to your
Sure.
outside page, and that would send folks to that.
That's good.
But
All right.
for the stuff that we want to have, as a group, right? Like who's the elected official, when were they elected, all of that stuff, that'd be on kind of a landing page. And then we can go off to, like the county assessors, I mean, they've got their own site. The county's the records, there's all sorts of links that we'll have in there to do that, but it'll be a one-stop place where people can go to see what's in the county, who's here, what's it about, what services we offer, that sort of stuff.
Works for me.
if I can throw out,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
current website, and I don't understand website building, but the person that runs that had told me quite a ways back that the template or whatever is full. That's why we struggled so hard to get the road crossing permits up there, had to shift some stuff around. There's also legislation down at the Capitol as we speak that would make a change to the Open Records Act, in that agendas posted to the website, which we're required to do now if there's a county website, but it didn't take down the posting and real notices on paper and this would, if we post it on a website, we don't have to post anywhere else. So
reduce our costs.
so there's some of these things, the current website for the current time, it needs change. There's more information that needs to be put out there and some different ways of doing it, and I don't think what we have in place is structured to do that. So if we can bring it in and fix it.
And that can be our focus, operationally, our first focus to fix those areas.
Yeah, that bill was passed this week.
Did it?
In committee.
Cool.
Alrighty. 17, consideration of possible action on approving cancellation of stale dated.
Sherry runs through and any of those that are over a year old get whacked, so there's.
Whacked.
It's just the word.
Haven't
It's
used
been a
it.
long week.
I haven't used that term since I was in the infantry school.
It's been a long week.
Barrel branch in there most times. They can smell stale. Seriously, you can't have a joke or
It's just like unclaimed money. Is that what that is?
It's checks, warrants that have not cashed in over a year, so we have to cancel them under state law.
Maryland just doesn't need the money.
There's no telling there.
No.
She doesn't need the
At
money.
all.
That's interesting.
Some employees that you gotta tell them that once a year you better cash that check. I'm not one of them. I move we approve.
So,
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 18, consideration possible action on approving temporary road crossing permits. I'm pretty much against that. Temporary. Get it already done. You go?
You?
Oh. They're way out there. Activity is picking up. Just so you know. And did you see the highwayman this month? Boy, what a change. February been such a short month. Cut it over $133,000.
jeez. They must have pumped a lot of oil out of the ground then. Wasn't that many duties?
2 days, there's a lot more people for 50%.
There's something fishy about that whole way they figure that out.
I just wonder, had we not called tax commission, what it had been this month.
I think you're right. I bet they got a lot of phone calls.
I bet they didn't get none from Kingfisher County.
Jeez. Yeah. It's kind of like that story about that bird in the barnyard in the wintertime. Keep your mouth shut.
Make sure I didn't have any medicine.
16 on the road crossing.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. You got any 19 and 20, Charlie?
No, sir.
21, consideration of possible action on consent agenda items.
Payroll.
Oh, I'm against that one.
Again?
Cost too much.
Does cost a lot.
Mike, this transfer's for you.
Right.
I need you to sign there and then ask the board. And blankets.
Forgot my phone.
DTs.
Yeah, you got the
Starting to
DT.
shakes. Gotta get a drink.
What is this for?
Transferring between accounts.
I think that's Coral Fire Department.
Moving money out of, one and out of their lease account into M&O.
Oh, into salary, but one's for,
The top one is the account the money's coming out of, and the bottom's where it's going.
okay.
This one's the fire department. I'm sorry.
No worries, man. I'm just gonna catch up. It's kind of what's what the baby tomato was told by his dad
Yeah.
when he squished him. He wasn't catching it.
How many zip codes do we have in Logan County?
Golly.
I used to know that,
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them.
12 or 13.
I'd say at least. I mean, in my area, you got Wellston and you got Perkins.
12 of them's in District 3.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It's quite a few.
When are we gonna talk about your favorite subject again, Molly?
Never.
CED?
It's a three-letter organization. but-
How about DEQ?
Oh.
DEQ contacted me and I had to fill out a report by April 1st. I didn't know nothing about it. But red bud, emissions, something. But the air curtain they bought for us, they gotta know the length of the exhaust pipe, the size of the exhaust pipe, how hot does the exhaust pipe get.
Real. I mean, that's what real hot. Above normal.
How many tons of debris did you burn?
Wow.
And no one told me I needed to weigh all that debris that we haul in there.
And that Bassmaster weight don't go up high enough to measure them trees very well, does it?
Jeez. Give them an inch, they took a mile.
But just for the record, I contacted DEQ about burning that on Prairie Grove Road,
Right.
and everything's approved. I visited with the Guthrie Fire Department to let them know that we'd be doing that.
Bureaucracy.
Speaking of that, I got an email from Shannon Shepherd the other day. You're right. And you know what? They noticed that having an engineering degree probably goes a long way to help this powers of observation. But right after it rains, potholes fill up with water. He said those potholes are all full of water. And on Simpson, full of water. Yep.
Officer reports.
Troy, just out of curiosity, you got any idea what the population of the jail is today?
Monday it was 145.
So it's hanging right up there then.
Yes.
Is it 168 or 186 max?
202 is what's max.
You know, we done that expansion, we finished
Yeah.
that one pod, and I think that brought the numbers up.
We do. So those numbers on the medical contract that we just redid, last meeting, yeah. I hadn't, I noticed that they had some numbers there at the bottom that talked about what the contract figures were based off of, and it said if the population in the jail goes over 150, then that price increases.
I'm unaware of what.
Yeah, I did. I just noticed it myself. It was kind of like one of those. It was kind of one of those things that after we got finished talking about it, I noticed. And, anyway, it's not a real important deal. It's just
One of the things that I understood was we were getting billed whether or not we went over the 150 regardless of the previous
Well,
company.
yeah,
And now
absolutely.
this one is only if we go over 150.
Right. You may do that on the weekend, huh? Go over 150 and then come after the weekend, why? Your population goes back down, right?
That's true.
So how do they figure the 150 by the day? Hard to say.
I wouldn't be able to say for sure. I heard per diem several times throughout the meetings, but I didn't make every one of them.
I think it's off monthly instead of daily.
Average, monthly average, that
Average
makes more
monthly.
sense to me, yeah.
I know I wish we had this service whenever I was a detention deputy. I'll tell you that. 7 days a week coverage is gonna be good.
Yeah.
You didn't
You
like
know
trying to
it's-
get people taking medicines?
Well, I don't like to identify medicines.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You can always transfer back now.
Yep. Wherever I need it.
Yeah, there you go.
Stray cattle from the sheriff. Y'all ever have a cookout?
We're having potluck today.
Well, I mean with them stray cattle.
No.
Not holding up the circus.
Nope. I'm just gonna let you get through them. I hate approving them and then coming back and looking at something. Give you an opportunity. Sir.
Confiscate my.
If you ain't bring enough for everybody, put them up.
I did, Commissioner, I did. But you get this one right there.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'll be entertaining a motion on consent agenda items.
Second.
No, I'll make it.
Oh,
I'll move it, we approve.
somebody second?
Mike did.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. 22, consideration of possible action on approving claims for payment for April 2017. Oh my goodness. While we're doing this, is any citizen desired to be heard? How about on 24, comments, announcements by the board? Can we do both at the same time?
Might as well.
Hey, we just supposed to adjourn.
So are we at the Board of Commissioner comments? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, we're gonna be meeting with, the Stillwater ODOT Regency, to discuss what we need to do to finish up Simpson Road for the, overlay that's gonna start here next month. So it's a pre-construction meeting and which shoulders need to be showing up and that sort of stuff. And those are all things that the county, our district, the county's doing out of pocket. And we've got about $130,000 worth of time and material invested in this project so far. And that should be another 1.5 miles paved up this year.
What's that feller's name up at Perry that took over up there?
Seth something? What's his, I don't know his last name.
Brian Taylor.
Yeah, what was the one before him? I think he's related to your brother, to your foreman.
Related to my foreman.
No, he's down in.
No. You're thinking about,
Wilford.
Wilford, thank you. Did I dream that he retired or?
No, he's retiring in July. 1st of July he retires. He's the who to talk to now that he's out of that, they can't retaliate against him type deal.
Well, I need to get with him. That's supposed to be starting my Beaver Creek project.
Well, he sure is willing to talk a lot more about how inefficient some of those folks are about moving paper off their desk.
Sure requires a lot of signatures. With ODOT.
Only that,
Yeah.
the constant observation that when it rains, potholes fill up with water.
For you, that's another one of those blankets.
Yes, ma'am. When you was a kid, you ever play whack-a-mole? Where you take a mallet and you hit this mole that pops up, and then one or two more will pop up somewhere else, and you got whacked in.
No.
There's no end to the game. It's just kind of something to keep kids focused on tearing up something other than their parents' stuff. My point is whack-a-mole. There's no end to it, right? But that seems to be the management philosophy of ODOT as far as project management for construction jobs. Their management philosophy is more like whack-a-mole. If it pops up and it's an emergency, then we got to run do that. Whatever's an emergency that day seems to be what they're focused on.
Very reactive.
Well, not only that, but they create the emergency that they want to be reactive to, and then they say, "Look, we saved the day." They never mentioned they caused the issue, but they saved the day.
Yeah.
Whack is the word of the day.
Whacked. I like it. Yeah, whack-a-mole.
Speaking of whack-a-mole, they finally got counters on Highway 33 and 105, seeing about the traffic coming in on that. Asked for a study on that. Traffic's going too fast, and it's causing all kinds of issues right there, you know, for all the residents. A lot of heavy residential area. And so we'll see if they come up with some better highway numbers.
Handful of wrecks plus one fatality.
Yeah, well, and hopefully they're still working on the traffic signals there. But I'm kind of wondering if they're not going to have to redo the entire intersection in order to be able to make those work. So we're probably talking some bucks. We're talking bucks, we're talking about time. Hard to say.
Hey, Monty, we're looking at starting Bryant Avenue that overlay, right at the second week of May, if you can check your calendar, your board's calendar on that. I figure if we can get some help on our first intersection, you know, after that, it's kind of like learning chords. They either can play or they can't, you know.
You gonna stripe all that paving, Marvin?
One of these days.
Gonna ride in the back of the truck with a roller.
There you go. I was thinking about a can of Krylon with a stick, and I could just duct tape it on the stick and pull it
Roller's
straight.
a lot faster.
Oh well, yeah, that's true.
You gotta put bearings in the roller. Alrighty. I'll move that we approve the
Second.
claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we already done citizens desire to be heard, comments, announcements by the board. Any
Motion
more?
reserved.
Or consideration possible action on adjournment.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? We're adjourned. Hey, don't be looking at that.